So one way that you can acquire a business is actually using a leveraged buyout strategy. So a leveraged buyout strategy is basically using the assets of the business to buy it. So I talk a lot about growing your business by way of acquisition because I feel that that is an easier way to get to where you want to be quite quickly than trying to grow organically. If you spend money on sales and marketing, you've not necessarily got a guarantee that that's going to work. And even if it does, the growth could be quite slow. But if you go and buy a business that comes with customers, infrastructure, staff, etc., then as long as you integrate that successfully into your business, then you can potentially grow by double, triple sometimes what your business is that you started out with. So one of the ways that you can acquire a business is using the leverage buyout strategy. And the reason I'm sharing this is that a lot of businesses that I speak to, whilst they might be quite successful and making some reasonable profits, they don't feel that they're in the financial position to actually go out and buy a competitor or a related business. So one of the ways to do this would be to use basically somebody else's money to go and acquire a business. So basically using financiers to use the assets of the business to buy it. So one way that I've done this is I was involved in an aviation engineering business. Now to acquire that business, I used the assets of the business to buy it. So the business owned a factory that was worth about £1 million. It owned a residential property that was worth about 300. It owned machinery to produce all the metals products that they were manufacturing, which probably equated to about 400,000. And there was about £1 million of cash in the bank in that particular business. And the way that I acquired that business is that I raised finance off all the assets. So the property I mortgaged, the machinery that the business had, I raised finance off. I factored their debtor book. I used some of the cash of the company's own cash to buy its shares. It's a very complex structure and not one that can really be effectively explained in a very brief video, but you basically get the gist that you raise the finance off the assets and then you use the cash that generates to buy the business. So of course you're then buying a business that then has debt associated with it, but the key is really to making sure that you're making the right acquisition. You're buying a business that has positive generative cash flows that of course it can use to service its debt obligations. So one of the things that I do when I work with business owners that want to go and acquire and grow and expand is that we do sometimes use the LBO structure to be able to go and make acquisitions so that we can really scale that growth up.